How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Aquaman 2018.
My mother was a queen, but life has a way of bringing people together.
So the plot is kind of complex, but I'll summarize the best as I can. The story begins with a fisherman played by Tamara Morrison. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. Tamara Morrison. He played Jango Fett and Boba Fett in the Mandalorian series. He's a fisherman in a lighthouse, and he then stumbles upon Nicole Kidman, which is the Queen of Atlantis. And then when they meet, they fall in love, and of course, they have a kid, which is Aquaman, a half human and a half Atlantean. He's a half breed. Of course, Atlantis wants their queen back because she originally was running away from the king. She didn't want to marry the king, but eventually, Atlantis, or the soldiers of Atlantis, spotted her and made her came back with them and exiled her for her treachery, or for her treason, pretty much. So years later, Aquaman, Arthur Curry, that's his real name, Arthur Curry, as he grows up, this takes place after the events of Justice League, which is another DC movie that came out in 2017. That movie was so disappointing, but I'll get to that review later in the future.
It's talking to the fish.
They made me what I am.
Arthur's father kind of like not influence him, but like hypes him up to be like, oh, your mother always believed that you would reunite the two kingdoms, like the surface world and the Atlantean world. You can bring the peace, you can be the king, you can be the hero, you can have the glory, blah blah blah. And Aquaman's like, no, I'm not a hero, I don't want to get involved in that, I don't want to be the king of Atlantis because they killed my mother. So he doesn't want to get involved with any of this Atlantis stuff. And he later meets another Atlantean named Mara, which is played by Amber Heard. She tries to tell Arthur that he needs to come back to his home because his half-brother, which is Ocean Master, played by Patrick Wilson, is trying to take over the kingdom and trying to destroy the human surface dweller world, or just our surface, pretty much. And Arthur has no choice to kick his stepbrother's ass, or his half-brother's ass, and so that way he can save humanity. And of course, Aquaman meets other enemies along the way, such as Black Manta, and Black Manta is out on a vengeance because his father, the cause of his father's death is pretty much Aquaman's fault, basically, because they were left to die. So that's why he has a grudge against Aquaman. Aquaman just trying to be the rightful kingdom, so pretty much this movie is just Arthur trying to be the rightful ruler of Atlantis, the rightful king, and everybody's trying to support him along his journey to defeat Black Manta and to defeat his half-brother Ocean Master.
Is about to declare war upon the surface world. The only way to stop this war is for you to take your rightful place as king.
Trust me, I am no king.
You do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all.
This movie, of course, is directed by James Wan, and James Wan is also responsible for such great horror movies and action movies. Of course, he made The Conjuring, Insidious, and The Fast and Furious 7, which is really cool. So yeah, James Wan, he's pretty much one of the most unique filmmakers of all time, at least today. So what did I think about this movie? This movie is actually pretty good. It's a really well-made DC movie because over the years, the DC movies, it's either a hit or miss, especially recently. Like a lot of controversy started with Batman versus Superman, and after that happened, people just don't really like the DC movies. But I think DC has been stepping up their game recently, especially now they have their own streaming services and they're coming out with more anticipated movies such as Robert Pattinson's The Batman, The Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad 2, really, and just other content. It's just really, really good.
My brother has come from the surface to challenge me for the throne.
I call it an ass whooping.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman 84. That's the newest DC installment in this DC cinematic universe, or extended universe. I heard mixed reviews about that, so I personally, don't ask me in the comments. I haven't seen the movie. If I've seen it, I'll make a review out of it, but for now, I haven't seen it. But Aquaman, it's a well-done DC movie, has good character development, it has a good story arc with each of these characters. The visuals is actually pretty cool. Some scenes might a little throw you off because the CGI might be a little too much, but overall, it looks visually great. It looks beautiful. So Aquaman, it's a well-done DC movie, and I highly recommend it for a comic book movie lover. And I would rate this movie, you know what? I would rate this movie a 7.9 out of 10. Reason why I give it 7.9 out of 10, even though it's a well done modern DC movie, I love old school not old school. I love like early 2000s like superhero movies such as Spider-Man, The Hulk, Batman Begins. Like, I don't know, there's something about me that I just love early 2000s, just old superhero movies. They have more of a charm, they have more originality now. Now all like Hollywood just makes superhero movies like pretty much all the time now, so it kind of gets a little old. But that's why I give it a low rating, because I've seen this stuff before and I'm more of a horror fan lover myself. But I do love old school like early 2000s superhero movies. So that was my quick review of Aquaman 2018. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
And the people that I love.
You think you're unworthy to lead because you're of two different worlds. But that is exactly why you are worthy.
That was awesome.
The war is coming to the surface, and I'm bringing the wrath of the seven seas with me.